Hey folks, Jeff and Lorena here at Back to Country. Thanks for joining us on our DIY road build. This of course is phase 1, where we cut the trail. You may ask why we need another road, and the answer is simply, we need a road that doesn't require constant maintenance and can support commercial trucks, to include semi-trailers and cement trucks. Additionally, we're just plain tired of getting stuck. So here we begin to develop a road plan which will cut diagonally across the hill rather than running straight down it. The theory is it'll be easier to manage water runoff, which should run at the road rather than straight down it. This way we can take full advantage of the terrain and natural ravines to prevent massive erosion and silt runoff. This project will be multiple phases and will most likely take months to complete. So stay with us as we progress through the aches and pains of DIY. Oh yeah, also don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of future videos as we work to get out of the city and back to country. Ew. Pull! Pull!
This is hard work.
Pull!
It's full of vines. We had to cut them. Okay, now I can pull it. Nice, please. Let's see. Girl power. Girl power. We can do it. I can do it. Yes. I did it. Girl power.
And there you have it.
There you go. Okay, good.
Okay folks, so we've reached the end of the line. There's the front gate. So hypothetically our road will come down and meet this road, and you go out the front gate, or when you come in you'll hit the road and go up it. So swinging around here, we opened up this area down here a bit more because as we came down our trail we started to find some little ravines, ditches, whatever you want to call them, that have been cut by erosion, and so that's already got water flowing. I don't know if you can see on the tape here, I'm kind of walking down a little bit. There's one that runs through here. If we come up here, we can see a natural little ravine right here that flows through. We've got brush scattered all around that we haven't cleaned up yet.
We are thinking, our plan is to recycle all this wood. We are currently looking for a cheaper to attach that to our tractor and to do compost and mulch, and the rest of it use it for firewood. So nothing is going to go to waste.
Yes. So if anybody in Northeast Texas has a PTO driven chipper for sale, let me know. Maybe you got what I'm interested in. Anyway, so continuing on up the trail here, we didn't open this up that much because we just wanted to get an idea of the land, and we want to see, you know, water flow as it comes down the hill and see what happens to this during or after a big rain. So we just mainly opened up a trail. So, you know, if nothing else, we can use this for hiking or whatever. Once I get my bulldozer fixed, then I'll probably bring that through to use the ripper to take out these little stumps and stuff like that and clean this up quite a bit. And what I'd like to do is actually cut the trail so that it's sort of like a road, and that might also give us a better idea of what the water does to it, so that we know if the water wants to flow down it or if it flows across it. Our hope, of course, is that the water flows across it so that we can put in culverts and stuff to redirect that water and not have the water washing out the road constantly. We got a big brush pile here that we still need to take care of. So we haven't finished this all, but keep in mind this has only been 3 days, so this was a major ordeal. We did this all by hand with a chainsaw and a forestry trimmer, and a whole lot of sweat and hard work. So this, you know, to do this even in 3 days, I think was a pretty big accomplishment. And it ain't like this is the only thing we've been doing, because we've had other stuff to do too. So
this is a project that is going to take months to accomplish.
Definitely, this won't be a overnight kind of deal. We actually want to study it a little bit, watch the terrain, see how the rain flows, and we're going to do this and do it right and take full advantage of what terrain we have to make sure that you know, we're going to come up with a road that works for us and doesn't require constant maintenance of, you know, rebuilding it all the time, and, you know, thousands of dollars of rock and everything constantly being dumped on it. We want to do this once, do it right, and have it last. And then, you know, a little bit of cleanup or whatever is fine, but we don't want to have to do major maintenance constantly. And we don't want to be worried about getting stuck all the time either, so
yes,
that's a plus.
That was the main purpose to do this road, because we were getting stuck many times. And a lot of people know that I don't like to cut down trees. I like to plant trees, but this had to be done. This is the road that we needed it.
So here we reach a Y in this point of the trail, and you know, you can see that we cut up a little bit that ways, and if you look over here you can kind of see an opening there that goes through the trees. And so funny story, what happened is we kind of came up with an idea of where we thought the road should come out, and I started just took off with a chainsaw and started kind of cutting a little bit of a trail. And you would think that would be simple, but it's actually not. It's not simple to cut a straight line with an idea of where you need to be going, because the natural tendency is that you follow the hill, and so you just keep going downhill. And then I would catch myself and I would correct, and what I ended up with is a zigzag. So in order to fix that, what we ended up doing was we got a long tape measure and we strung that out a bit to provide a straight line. I'm sure you could use a string or whatever, and then that gave us a guide to follow. So that worked out much better. But we haven't opened up all the way because we really don't know where we're going to come out yet as far as what's going to be best the best location, I guess, to join up with the road in the end, because we haven't got our final road built where we think it's going to go, because we're still building the pad. So that's one of our challenges. So I know it's going to come through these trees somewhere, and we'll end up out connecting to our road, which will come up to the pad where we're building our shop, or where we plan to build the shop. And you know, we'll figure that out as we go. So we didn't feel like we needed to cut down a bunch of trees with a guess that it would be better just to wait until we get our parts back and get our bulldozer put back together, so that we can finish that pad and you know, get our dirt work done, and then we'll know exactly where our road's going to be, and we can then determine the best area to bring that all the way through. So we can go through the trees here and come out, and this comes out to our crossroad, which brings us up from the property line at the front. So we go that way back to the line, and then turn down the side of the property to the front gate. Of course, our reasoning for not keeping that is it's too sharp. It's a 90-degree turn, so not really good to try to bring semi trucks loaded through, etc. So currently what we've got here is this kind of just goes up the hill onto the pad, but the pad's going to extend beyond that. When the regular road, the main road, washed out, I ended up cutting this into my pad just because we needed a road, and we've been using this road ever since. So this was never intended to be the permanent road. This was just temporary. So what I'm thinking is, once the pad is done, the pad's going to extend, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet beyond this road, I think. And so probably then what I'll do is build a new road that kind of comes up the side of that pad, because I don't want it to come straight up the pad, because then that just creates another place for water to run. So we got to kind of be strategic even in how we build that. So eventually it'll come up somewhere over here, and in theory maybe a road that kind of runs I guess down the side here, and then back down, and somewhere in those trees that road will come through, and it would just kind of join up there with a gradual turn, nothing sharp. So of course then we can get big trucks through, and our stuff with trailers, etc. So anyway, that's the plan. That's where we're at. Like Lorena said, this isn't going to be an overnight deal. It's going to go on for months. And so we got phase one, we think, just about done, and that's cutting the trail. And so stay with us and continue from there. God bless. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hasta luego, amigos. And throughout all this project, Whiskey's also working really hard guarding our belongings. Thank you, Whiskey. Good job. As you can see, Jeff is exhausted. Right, Whiskey?